If you're someone who overeats on the weekend and you wake up Monday just filled with regret and shame, this episode is for you.
Welcome to the What's Eating You podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Giorgio, and I'm a clinical psychologist.
Hello, my friends. Thank you for coming back for today's episode. I wanted to talk about the weekend because even though I've come a huge, long way, I sometimes forget just how far I've come and how I actually managed to have a balanced relationship with food. So this weekend, I ate normally, which is what I would consider. I had some sweets, I enjoyed my breakfast, and I wanted to just give you some strategies on how to not overeat or binge eat on the weekend. Now, overeating is completely normal and it's completely okay from time to time. So I want to let you know that. If you never, ever overeat, that can also be a problem. You might be on the restrictive side of eating. But overeating just means you eat a little bit more than what you feel as though you're comfortable with. You might feel like your tummy hurts a bit. You might feel a little bit sick. Episodes of this can happen on Christmas, on birthdays, at a fancy restaurant. And I want to say that this is completely normal. But if you find that you're stuck in a cycle where every weekend is the same, you're like, oh, it's Saturday night, I'm going to go all out, it's the weekend. And then Monday comes and you're like, oh, that's it. I feel like crap. I need to rein it in. I can't keep doing this. Then I'm going to teach you how to get over this. The first strategy is you need a plan on the weekend. You need a food plan. Now, when we help you recover with disordered eating or an eating disorder, we maintain the same food structure on the weekend during the week. This is the biggest issue. People magically get to the weekend and they're like, oh, I'll just have breakfast at 11 o'clock, which is fine. It's okay occasionally to have a big sleep in, enjoy your morning, have a later breakfast. That's all good. But when that happens, you need to recognize that you're probably going to be eating later in the day. For a lot of people, they experience food guilt at night when they're eating at night. But if you are eating later in the day, you are going to eat late at night. It's just the reality of life. So, the first thing I want you to do is to eat within a structure on the weekend. Just because it's Saturday or Sunday, I still want you to have your breakfast. I still want you to have your lunch. I want you to have your dinner and I want you to have 2 or 3 snacks. For some reason, people think they can magically get to the weekend and become someone who doesn't eat breakfast. They can become someone who skips dinner just to have alcohol. But that doesn't work because guess what? An eating disorder doesn't work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. It's something that we need to address every single day. So if you want to stop overeating on your weekends, treat your weekends like your weekdays. Have your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 to 3 snacks. That's the first thing. Don't go on some rogue, random pattern of eating. Of course, you can change what you're eating, have your Sunday pancakes, go out for brunch at a cafe, but just because you had brunch at a cafe, a lot of people think, well, I don't need to eat lunch because I had brunch. That's wrong. It's not true. And you'll end up binge eating later and you'll end up being absolutely starving. So that's the first thing.
Do you struggle with attention, remembering important details such as appointments or even replying to a text? Organisation and day-to-day life stuff such as cooking and cleaning? You are not alone. You may even find it harder than others to manage your emotions. Or do you feel sensitive to perceived rejection or criticism? These are just some of the symptoms we may see in someone who has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. However, even if you don't have diagnosed ADHD, we live in a society where we all struggle at times with our executive functioning. Your executive functioning is the CEO of your brain. It's responsible for planning, remembering, processing information, motivation, attention, and getting started on tasks. There are limited spots in this amazing program, so don't wait to book in. Stay tuned for the release date, and I can't wait to have you be part of the community.
The second thing is I just want you to bring your awareness to your eating when you're eating it. I'll give you an example. I have dessert every single night. I love my mango sorbet. But on Friday, which is, yay, Friday, movies, amazing. In my head, I'm already planning what I'm gonna eat. I'm like, yeah, like, let's go to Aldi, let's get all this chocolate, let's enjoy. But that's just a part of me. And sometimes that part is active and sometimes it's not active. But on Friday night, we're watching a movie and I actually felt really full and I was really tired. And I said, Steph, do you want dessert right now or do you need rest? Like, do you think you can get by this evening with not having dessert? And I was like, yeah, I'm just so tired. I just want to go to bed and sleep. So I said, all right, cool, go to bed, sleep. You can have your gelato tomorrow. It's no big deal. Whereas the old Steph, no, I would have been like, it's Friday night. Let's get dessert. Let's get this. Let's get that. But to say no to a dessert on a weekend, that would never have been me in the past. But why am I able to do this? Because I know that I can have this dessert any day, any time, any place. And when you have this abundant mindset with food, you're going to be able to say no to food, but you have to get to this place. You have to get to this place through a series of stages we take you through in Food Freedom. You have to go through giving yourself full permission to eat all the food when you want it. You have to go through mindful eating. You've got to go through reprogramming your mindset, and then you will get to this point. So if you're currently a binge eater, you don't want to be restricting yourself or not eating things when you want it. You have to give yourself everything whenever you want it to get through to the other side.
Do you eat a large amount of food in a short period of time and feel a loss of control? Maybe you make yourself sick after you binge eat. If this is you, you're not alone. I'm a clinical psychologist who went through a 9-year eating disorder, and I know how to get to the other side of food freedom. If you're ready to ditch the dieting mentality, discover food freedom, and find confidence in yourself and your body, click the free eating evaluation call. The link is below.
The second thing is, I don't feel I have to finish everything. So last night was Saturday night. I had my sorbet and I thought, I wouldn't mind a little bit of chocky, right? So I had 2 blocks of chocolate, but each had 1 piece left in it, like the long Aldi. I'm on this Aldi journey at the moment where I love their chocolate. They've got these long bars and you can dip them in tea or coffee. They're just divine. And I was like, okay, wouldn't mind a little bit of chocky. See, some nights it's no dessert, some nights it's a gelato and a piece of chocolate. So I slowly ate my hazelnut chocolate. Notice I said slowly. Many people get stuck in the trap of eating fast and rapidly because as a child, they learned I need to eat this quickly because it's bad, it's naughty. What I'm doing is really naughty and bad. But you're allowed to enjoy it. So I want you to take a bit of chocolate and I want you to smell it. I want you to suck it in your mouth. I want you to savor the flavors and the juices. We actually did a mindful eating live exercise in Food Freedom on Saturday, and it was so interesting because the ladies each brought 2 chocolates, 2 Easter eggs, 2 biscuits, and I didn't tell them to. They just brought it because I said, bring a piece of chocolate. They brought double, and they said, after the first one, I actually didn't even need or feel like the second because they ate it mindfully. What does eating mindfully even mean? It means being fully present with your senses in the moment. It means noticing the smells, the tastes, the textures. When I used to eat dessert mindlessly, I would be thinking about my next bowl while I was eating my first bowl. But as I'm eating this chocolate, I'm like, this is really sweet. It's really beautiful. It's really decadent. Ooh, I love the little hazelnut crunch crunch. And then straight away, I felt like having another piece. I wanted to have the dark chocolate. And I said, Steph, are you just wanting to have the dark chocolate to finish it? Or are you wanting to have it because you genuinely want it? And I thought, just give it 5 minutes. So I gave it 5 minutes and I'm like, no, I feel really good. I really enjoyed that hazelnut piece. What the heck? The old Steph would never have had a piece of hazelnut chocolate. And this has taken me years to get to this point because I love sweets and I will overindulge on sweets, but I'm fine with it. I don't mind. But lately, I've been using more and more of my strategies and wow, they work. So I put the one piece of dark chocolate away, whereas in the past, I'm like, I might as well just eat it. It's one piece. Tomorrow's Monday. But that's not the point. The point is, I can put this away and I can enjoy the chocolate on a Monday too. I don't have to eat it all tonight. So if you're someone who thinks, oh, I'll just finish it, there's one left, I challenge you this week to have it on Monday and say, do I actually want this right now? And if you really want it, have it. That's fine. But if you're like, no, I'm actually having it because I might as well get rid of it, then I challenge you not to have it. See the difference? Notice how we're taking a breath, we're tuning into our intention for eating it. And then based on that decision, we choose not to. Now, you can only do this if you are well fed. If you're starving, if you're purging, if you're restricting, you're not going to have the cognitive capacity to do this type of interoceptive work, which means really get in touch with your body. So you have to make sure to get to this point, you're eating regularly, 3 meals, 2 to 3 snacks. You're regulating your nervous system, which is what we do in Food Freedom. We teach you how to calm down, how to get out of your fight or flight, your cortisol response. Then you're ready to reprogram your brain when it comes to food. And then what I've just shown you now, which is a combination of everything, it's regulating, it's checking in, it's determining your satisfaction factor, and leaving food on your plate, you will be able to do that at the end. So if you're someone who struggles with your eating, make sure you book a one-on-one call. The next Food Freedom is launching July 6th. I already have 2 of the 4 spots that are left available. So I have a few spots available if you're keen to jump on board. Even if you're someone I've worked with in the past and you just need a little refresher, get in touch, because your relationship with food is something you can always be working on. If you enjoyed this little tip about how I don't overeat on the weekend, let me know. Please make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next episode.
Did you know by taking 2 seconds to leave a rating or a review, you help me get the podcast out to more listeners just like you who could really benefit from the information? I appreciate all your support and thank you for tuning in.